We are back with another Money Donuts donut hole with Cooper. So life happens to all of us, and sometimes we can shell out a bunch of money on stuff that we were not planning for. Maybe we weren't prepared for.
Inflatable couches.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I just got an ad for specific outdoor inflatable patio furniture.
You're influencing her algorithm, Steve.
Yeah, were you listening to Money Donuts?
No, I think I have my phone, but I laughed so hard and forgot to take a picture and send it to you. But I was like, there is no way there's a market for this. Actually, there is. His name is Steve. Anyway.
So, Cooper, how can somebody rebuild after one of those unexpected, maybe impactful financial setbacks?
Yeah. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again.
That's okay. It's fresh content.
Yeah.
Right. So, in the ideal world, we always say treat saving like any other bill that you're paying, right? So, yes, you have that big unexpected expense. And while we can't guarantee it, the hope is that it happened. And we already are planning a little bit each paycheck or each month, however we like to budget, that is going into that fund, right? Or going into some sort of savings fund, right? And so sometimes people will stop when they have the 3 to 6 months and then transition to putting more in investments because you're going to make more money, right? There's a balance there. So maybe now it's, cutting back on the investment right now. You can still do some, but let's start rebuilding that emergency fund. Sometimes it's selling things. Sometimes it's, picking up extra hours or whatever it may be. But it's a chance to take a look at spending too and deciding, am I really spending where I should be? Okay, maybe I'll go out to eat only once this month and really focus on cooking at home and, add more to that emergency fund. I think sometimes too, it's doing the work beforehand too. So yes, the emergency hits and it plays on.
Sorry.
That's so dainty.
I was trying to hold it back.
Oh my God. It plays, kind of on that urgency and emotion, right? But, is it truly best to take all the money out of that emergency fund right now? Or is it best to do half and put half on a credit card or use, your quick cash or go talk to your financial about maybe, a loan for half of it? So doing a little bit of that work before you respond, as hard as that can be, can also help you not have to pay back as much, but not feel the pressure to now have to change everything and be putting that money in savings, especially if things already feel a little tight and are emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I first graduated college, I had no emergency fund. I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I was like, okay, I need to have something.
Yeah.
So I saved. I was really, really diligent about limiting my spending so I could build up some sort of a start of an emergency fund. Well, 6 months go by, something happens to my car, it drains my emergency fund. Every penny that I had saved for that 6 months was gone in the span of 2 hours between when the problem started and when the mechanic was like, hey, here's what's wrong, here's what it's going to cost you. And I remember feeling so discouraged.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I just spent the last 6 months saving that and now it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's gone on a not fun purchase, something that
Yep.
isn't even bringing me joy. I mean, of course, a working car
Like, yes, you
is a good thing.
it,
Yes.
right?
But
But
and I remember feeling so discouraged. But then I was like, wait, like, Alexis, what if you didn't have that money and you couldn't fix your car and you couldn't make it to work? So it's like, amidst those financial setbacks, it's important to look back, like, you were saving this money for a moment like this. So even though it's a setback now, you, because of your preparation, it's not as large of a setback as it could have been if you didn't have that money.
That is something when people are saving that, like, you made a perfect point. You did it for so long. You worked so hard. You don't want to spend it, but that's exactly why you did it, right? Like, spend that money. Like, that is why it's there, right? So I love that. Creative ways. I know a lady I used to work with in one of our programs, she always talks about how she saved when she had just gotten married. Like, they didn't have a lot of money. And now she's a pretty frugal person, like disciplined. And so sometimes it's just, shifting your style of budgeting or like how you manage that. And so for her, she would get her paycheck, and then the day before her next paycheck, she would, whatever was still left in her checking account would go to savings. Could be 25 cents. It could be $25. It didn't matter, but she would zero out that account and then start over with her next paycheck. And, you know, she's like, that was truly the only way that we could actually save and like feel like we're meeting everything that just keeps happening, but paid for the kids' braces that way. And it felt so good to just write that check and not have to think about them. Right. So that was a good one too, where I'm like, sometimes it's just that little shift, like 25 cents doesn't seem like a lot, but it adds up. Same with saving your change, things like that.
It's building those habits for sure.
Yeah.
How quick did you come to the realization that it was a good thing that you had that emergency fund? Was it like a year? You're like, all right, it was good. Or was it like 5 minutes?
No, I would say it was probably like a couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I could see that being really tough. But as you're reflecting, being like, all right, I did the right thing. And it worked out for me.
And knowing that's okay and normal, right? Like, you're going to have those feelings about it. It happens. It's okay. You can be mad that you spent your money in there, but, you know, it's good that you had it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about mortgage payments every time. I'm just like, fine. Here you go, Royal.
Thank you for having a place to shelter. Right?
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Cooper.
Yeah. I would say thanks for having me, but
come back anytime.
I know, right? I'm like kind of a package deal. So
perfect.